everyone, and welcome back to Days Out. And today we're off to Wales to see the miniature railway at Rhyl and a unique collection of locomotives at Penrhyn Castle. The Rhyl miniature railway is situated a short distance from the town's main line station. The railway opened in 1911 and run by Miniature Railways of Great Britain Limited. This was founded by Bassett Loke and Henry Greenley and later sold to Rhyl Amusements Limited, who erected attractions around the lake. The line used 6 Alban Atlantics, also known as Barnes Atlantics. These were designed by Greenley but constructed by Bassett Loke, being a more powerful version of their Little Giant. In later years, the railway remained with Rhyl Amusements, but the lake was sold to the council. As no long-term lease could be arranged, the line closed in 1969, but was relaid in 1978. Since then, the original fleet has been collected after their sale to other railways, and in 2001 the line was taken over by the Rhyl Steam Preservation Trust. The railway's headquarters is at Central Station, opened in 2007. It houses a workshop and provides undercover storage for the line's rolling stock. There is also a museum known as the Albert Barnes Building, which tells the history of the railway. Billy was the last of the Barnes Atlantics, remaining at Rhyl until 1969. During the 80s, Billy was displayed at Rhyl's BR station, coming to the miniature railway in 2007. Railway Queen is unique because she first ran at Woodland Park on the Isle of Grain. Moved to Bellevue in Manchester, she came to the railway in the 80s and was undergoing restoration. Clara is a diesel locomotive with a steam outline, built by Trevor Geist in 1961 for Dudley Zoo. She was one of the line's first locomotives when it reopened in 1978. In service on this day was Michael, who, upon closure, was sold to Dudley Zoo. Remaining there until 1994, Michael went to Anglesey, returning to Rhyl in 2007 and restored in 2009. Penrhyn Castle is located just to the east of Bangor. Dating from the 19th century and rebuilt between 1820 and 1837 in a neo-Norman style, the castle was the home of the Pennant family, who owned the slate quarry and port at Penrhyn. The slate quarry was the largest in the world. A tramway was laid in 1798, being upgraded to a railway in 1801 on a new alignment from Bethesda to Port Penrhyn. Until 1874, steam only worked in the quarry, whilst the railway was horse-drawn. However, in 1877, the line was upgraded, with 3 locomotives, known as main lines, arriving in the 1880s. The majority of Penrhyn's locomotives came from Hunslet. Later, others arrived from Andrew Barclay, Bagnall, D. Winton and Kerr Stewart, with some being second-hand. At its peak, the quarry employed 3,000 workmen, who formed the North Wales Quarrymen's Union to reform pay and working conditions. This ultimately led to 2 strikes, one for 11 months in 1896 and the other from 1900 to 1903, the longest industrial strike in UK history. The quarry's main line closed in 1962, whilst the quarry itself was modernised from 1964 to 67. This resulted in much of the rolling stock being sold off, and today Penrhyn is owned by Welsh Slate. Since 1951, the castle has been owned by the National Trust. They founded a small railway museum, including many artefacts from Penrhyn and other quarries in the area. Soon, other locomotives from around the country arrived, including LNWR coal tank number 1054. However, in recent years, much of the collection has been dispersed to other railways. Charles is a mainline quarry Hunslet from 1882, which came to the castle in 1963. She worked at Penrhyn, hauling slate to Port Penrhyn, with her sisters Linda and Blanche, now on the Festiniog. Behind Charles is this four-wheeled saloon from 1882. It was used by Lord Penrhyn, who owned both the quarry and the railway. Haydock was built by Robert Stevenson for the Haydock Collieries in Lancashire in 1879 and is now based on the Isle of Wight. Watkin is a local product from the De Winton Works in Carnarvon. Outshopped in 1893, she worked at the Penmaenmore quarries on the North Wales coast and is now on static display at Carnarvon Station on the Welsh Highland. In the 1840s, Owen Thompson founded an engineering firm in Carnarvon. He later set up the Union Foundry with Jeffreys Parry De Winton, after whom the new company was named. The first products from De Winton included marine engines, gas lights, tunnel supports for the Carnarvonshire Railway and machinery for the quarry at Dinorwic. Its first locomotive emerged in 1874, with the company becoming specialists in 040 vertical boiler tanks. The last locomotive left the foundry in 1897, with the company going into bankruptcy in 1901. The oldest locomotive is Fire Queen of 1848, who worked on the Paddon Railway at Llanberis until the 1880s. Upon withdrawal, she was placed in a shed until being donated to the museum in 1969. This saloon dates from 1896 and also used by the Paddon to carry the mine owners from Dinorwic Quarry to Port Dinorwic. The coach and Fire Queen are now on the Vale of Rydal. Vesta was built for John Summer Limited in 1916 by Hudswell Clark. Later, working at sites around Cheshire and North Wales, she was donated to the museum in 1963. She's now on display at the Bury Transport Museum. Horden was also constructed by Hudswell Clark and dates from 1899. Spending her whole life at the Globe Ironworks in Stalybridge, she is now on the Middleton Railway. Beckton No. 1 dates from 1870, being constructed by Neilson. Originally named Alderman, she worked at Beckton Gasworks in East London and is now at the Bowness and Kinneil. Beckton Gasworks was opened in 1870 by the Gas Light and Coke Company. This was followed by the Beckton Product Works in 1879, bringing the total site area to 500 acres, with coal brought in by rail and the River Thames. All the locomotives came from Neilson and painted in two liveries depending on their location. The green livery applied to the gasworks, whilst red was for the chemical works. By 1949, the site had 4,500 workers and owned by the North Thames Gas Board. Closing in 1969, after the discovery of North Sea gas, the site is now a retail park. Kettering Furnaces No. 3 was built in 1895 by Black Hawthorne, spending her whole life at the furnaces of the same name. She is destined for restoration at the Waterford and Shaw Valley in Ireland. Started in 1876, the Kettering system consisted of a series of tramways connecting the quarries to the Midland Railway, with the ironworks being established in 1878. Running on a gauge of 3 feet, the first locomotives came from Black Hawthorne, starting in 1879. They were followed by 3 more from Manning Wardle in 1890, with the last quarry at Bunker Hill starting in 1933. 1949 saw the first pit closed and the complex was nationalised in 1951, but later sold to Stewarts and Lloyds in 1956. The furnaces went in 1959 and the rest of the system closed in October 1962. So that was a visit to the Rhyl Miniature Railway and Penrhyn Castle. Hope you've all enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and feel free to follow me on Instagram. Link down below in the description. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all on the next day out. Bye!